Greetings, Stove Minders. It's Tuesday, January 26th, 2021, and the temperature of the MLB off-season hot stove is still hot, even though it's very cold outside where I'm sitting on the porch having a coffee. Another marquee name has come off the board in closer Brad Hand, and the two titans of the AL East, the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox, are both very active this past weekend, including with themselves. Yes, a rare trade I will get to soon, but first, Mr. Hand goes to Washington. Yes, left-handed closer Brad Hand, the top free agent closer left on the market. Might have been the top free agent closer, period, depending who you ask. It was kind of a toss-up between him and Liam Hendricks at the start of the offseason. Hendricks, now a Chicago White Sox. There was also Kirby Yates, who, if he can bounce back to his former 2 years ago, will be very good as well. He's on the Toronto Blue Jays now, and now Brad Hand, a Washington National for at least 1 year. It's a one-year contract, $10.5 million in salary. That's a straight one-year deal. No options or incentives for that matter, which I guess is more rare than not these days. It's how the market evolves. The aptly named Hand has been one of the best, most consistent relievers of the past 5 years. The fact he was even available speaks to the sad state of certain franchises operate in, including the Cleveland Indians, who bought out Hand for $1 million instead of exercising his $10 million option. Yes, the Indians are rebuilding, but the fact they just let him walk instead of at least trying to trade him as a rental is bad management. It's bad management. Why? Because Hand has been among the most consistent relief pitchers in baseball over the past 5 years or so. And in this business, turning out good seasons year after year, especially as a reliever, is remarkable, to say the least. Since transitioning from the rotation to the bullpen in 2016, Brad Hand has a .270 ERA, .292 FIP, 1.066 WHIP, and just 31 home runs allowed in 320 innings pitched, 104 saves in 137 opportunities. His conversion rate has increased with time, standing at over 90% since the start of 2019. He was perfect last year in save situations. On those notes, it might be shocking that Hand only got a one-year deal, as lucrative as it is, relatively, for a reliever. I mean, $10.5 million's up there with at least the top 5 highest paid relievers in baseball right now. I know Hendricks' average annual value is something like $15 million, but 10.5 is better than even a back-end starter will get these days. Thinking like Jose Quintana and J. Happ, who signed recently, 1 year, $8 million. Just a couple market notes. Hand is only turning 31 years old this spring, but there is a flag here. Velocity. Hand is a strikeout artist. Since the start of 2016, he has sat down 1/3 of batters faced. Outstanding. A K rate of over 12 per 9 innings on average, but the average speed of his fastball has dropped by a full mile per hour since 2018. His swinging strike rate was noticeably down in 2020 from the average of the previous 4 years. And I'm just talking Hand's four-seamer, which he throws about 35% of the time. His primary pitch is a slider, whose average velocity has also trended downwards, was below 80 miles an hour in 2020. Still, he's getting the job done, and the Washington Nationals could really use some relief. Their bullpen was 23rd in the majors in ERA in 2020, and their longtime closer Sean Doolittle is also a free agent. So here comes Hand to anchor the 2021 Nationals bullpen. Another solid addition for general manager Mike Rizzo. Hey, it's garbage day. Take out the trash. GM Mike Rizzo has been pretty busy this winter, acquiring ex-Cubs John Lester and Kyle Schwarber, and swinging a trade for Josh Bell, adding some power to the lineup and shoring up the back end of the rotation. And now they got the 9th inning shut down if Brad Hand pitches anything like he's been pitching the last few years. The Nationals' luxury tax payroll goes over $190 million, depending on which projections you take. A little uncomfortable for now, But Max Scherzer becomes a free agent after 2021, which is $34.5 million coming off the books. It'll be interesting to see where Mad Max goes next and how the Nationals will perform this year in a loaded NL East. They at least got Brad Hand. How great is that? That like a really good pitcher's last name is Hand. You can't make this shit up. Anyway, now onto the American League Eastern Division. Let's get right into the Yankees-Red Sox trade because these rarely happen. They do happen, but like with any rivals, like you don't really see many Dodgers-Giants trades or Cubs-Cardinals trades. It just doesn't happen. So, the Boston Red Sox will receive right-handed relief pitcher Adam Ottavino, and the New York Yankees get right-handed pitching prospect Frank German, plus cash or a player to be named later. So, the Red Sox obviously need pitching. Their staff as a whole was last in the American League in runs allowed, hits allowed, home runs allowed, and walks given. They need starters as well as relievers. Matter of fact, they also signed right-handed Garrett Richards. I'll get to that in a few minutes. But for now, Adam Ottavino will be a rental, costing Boston $8.15 million in 2021. The Yankees are taking a little bit of a salary. Ottavino had an uneven 2 seasons for his hometown team, the Yankees. 84-plus innings pitched, 113 strikeouts, but 49 walks, 2.74 ERA, but a 3.46 FIP, both still good. He was great in 2019 and then struggled in 2020. Prior to joining the Yankees, Ottavino had several good seasons with the Rockies. The 35-year-old New Yorker is an established middle relief option. Overpaid, yes. And it's a bit strange that the Red Sox would take on more money with how high their payroll already is. But that just tells you how much they need arms. This acquisition is about quality over quantity. And I could say the same actually about the Nationals signing Hand or even the Jays signing Yates. Because when you talk about bullpen ERA, that hinges on like 7 to 10 guys. And I guess the frame of mind of some managerial people might be, well, if your whole bullpen just sucks, wouldn't you just want to have like 3 decent relievers instead of 1 really, really good one? As nice as it is to have a shutdown closer, I mean, what about the other innings? And that's a good point. And I mean, the White Sox didn't have to worry about that. Their bullpen's good. They just needed an upgraded closer from Alex Coleman. They got a heck of an upgrade in Liam Hendricks before the Nationals, Jays, and now the Red Sox. I guess they just needed somebody. I mean, Ottavino's not even a closer. I mean, he's had saves, but that's never really been his role. So that's that. In return, the Yankees receive Frank German, a 23-year-old righty who's pitched his highest Class A advanced with an ETA of 2021 this year. Yeah, German was the Red Sox number 27 prospect. Very good fastball. He's got the mid-90s average. Although scouts say he can improve his secondary pitches, or he'll have to work out of the bullpen as opposed to being a starter. So potentially a 1-for-1, a younger, less expensive arm for the Yankees, whose own payroll stands at the top of the majors. I guess in the short term and if you're looking at needs, this is a better deal for the Red Sox. But financially and long term, it favors the Yankees. And who doesn't like an even trade like that? As questionable as certain aspects of this are. Well, rolling into talking about the Red Sox payroll, first of all, they did sign a starter, as I said. That was right-handed Garrett Richards on a 1-year contract worth $10 million dues, plus an option also worth $10 million US. So, I've mentioned how Red Sox pitching was a mess in 2020. They did not have ace Chris Sale, who should be back in the middle of this upcoming season after Tommy John surgery. Nathan Eovaldi was their only good starter, and he only made 9 starts due to injury, something Eovaldi is no stranger to. And the Red Sox had no Eduardo Rodriguez, who battled coronavirus, missed all of 2020, but should be back for the start of this season. In light of all that, it raises one's eyebrows for Boston to sign Garrett Richards, who had Tommy John surgery less than 2 years ago, who never threw more than 77 innings in a season. 77 innings in a season between 2016 and 2019. He's injury prone too. Granted, Richards looked decent in 2020 with the Padres as a swingman. He threw 51 plus, made 10 starts, ERA FIP in the low 4s, strikeout numbers and walks. Yeah, that's where they should be based on career average. If Richards can stay healthy and be the Red Sox number 4 starter down the line, I mean, that's not bad at all. But as a number 3 or even the number 2, as it'll be at the start of the season before Sale comes back, that's a reach given what he's shown so far. I am not sure what Boston's chief baseball officer, yes, that is his title, the chief baseball officer, Chaim Bloom, is thinking here. Dude, the team's luxury tax payroll is almost at $200 million after these two signings, or after this trade and signing. Way too close to the $210 million threshold. Yes, he needed to get pitchers, and he did it. Okay, he did what he was supposed to do. He addressed their top need before any Benintendi Bradley fiasco. But for these prices, I don't like it. I'm sure those passionate Red Sox fans don't either. I'll let them take care of Bloom as they've done other front office executives before him. But yeah, some question marks there with Garrett Richards and Adam Ottavino. Now on the Red Sox. And now on the Yankees is right-handed pitcher Jameson Taillon. Hey-yo. Yeah, we heard about this a little bit back when the Pirates initiated their fire sale and they started putting out feelers and talking shop and trade with other teams. We heard Taillon to the Yankees. I think this may have even been a rumor before this winter. But anyway, it's finally materialized. And in exchange, the Yankees will be sending the Pirates 4 prospects. I'll get to who those guys are in a couple minutes. But first, let's start with the Yankees end of this deal. They needed another starter to put beside Garrett Cole, Luis Severino, who I guess is not going to be there for the start of the season, Corey Kluber, and whoever else might land in the rotation. Yanks have options, but nobody proven. I mentioned this before when I was talking about the Corey Kluber deal. There's some young guys with potential. There's some swingmen like Jordan Montgomery, but it's the Yankees. They're serious. They need someone who can really freaking throw. And what Jameson Taillon brings is a lot of upside. The former second overall pick, that was back in 2010, out of the Woodlands High School in Texas, Taillon has performed well at the big league level. 4 seasons, having missed 2020 due to, you guessed it, Tommy John surgery. Career ERA 3.67, FIP 3.55. The 29-year-old Taillon has strong control and hard contact limitation. Strikeouts won't wow you, but the walk rate is good, as is the ground ball rate, 48.2%. The type of pitcher you can rest a little easy regarding a comeback from injury since he's not over-reliant on overpowering opposing batters. It's what the Yankees need, especially with Severino out the first few months, and it's what Taillon needs to leave the dumpster fire that is the Pittsburgh Pirates. He has 2 years remaining under contract and just $2.25 million in salary coming up. A great addition to the financially squeezed Yankees, who remain under $200 million in luxury tax-related payroll, but they had to give up 4 prospects to get him. Who the hell are these guys going to the Pirates? Yeah, start them up. All right, so 3 of these guys were on the Pirates' top 30 prospects list. The odd man out is Dominican infielder Michael Escoto, who, to be fair, is just 18 years old. He actually made it into the Yankees prospects rankings at number 27. So see you in like 5 years. Maybe he'll continue to climb in the rankings as he gets older. Number 26 in the Pirates system now is 21-year-old left-handed outfielder Kenan Smith, a solid hitter who has posted high batting average and on-base percentage in the minors, as high as Class A Advanced, ETA 2022. Number 19, and again, this is now the Pirates rankings that I'm considering, is Dominican right-hander Roansy Contreras, 21 years old, but considered advanced for his age in terms of pitch sequencing and fearlessness in throwing strikes. High-spin fastball, but there are questions whether or not Contreras can cut it as a big league starter. So far, he's pitched as high as Class A, ETA 2022. And number 14 among Pirates prospects now is Miguel Yajure, 22-year-old Venezuelan righty who debuted in 2020. Yeah, he threw 7 innings for the Yankees. In his minor league career, Yahure stood out for his command, low walks and home runs. Scouts think he can be a back-end starter in the majors, and he could probably fit into the Pirates bullpen at least like now. So good news there. I mean, none of those prospects have like super high upside. That's a quantity over quality sort of trade for the Pirates. But even if one of them pans out, it's like, all right, well, okay. It kind of depends how Taillon does in his last couple years with the Yankees. And that Yanks rotation starting to take shape because remember, Paxton still a free agent, Tanaka still a free agent. Now he's really flirting with going back to Japan. J-Hap's already off the board, though he was, I guess, the worst out of those 3. Yeah, I mean, if Corey Kluber can stay healthy and show up, and if Jameson Taillon can have the bounce back everyone expects him to, then yeah, GM Brian Cashman did his job. And trading away Adam Ottavino wasn't even a huge loss. The Yankees have had a good bullpen already. So, yeah, quantity over quality on the Pirates end. But they've been building up a heck of a farm system this winter with the trading away of Joe Musgrove, Josh Bell, and now Jameson Taillon. Kudos to general manager Ben Cherington. Screw their ownership. They suck. Let's see who Pittsburgh trades next. Yeah. And that'll about do it for the stove mining today. I didn't really want to get into all the rumors because of how long this video already is. That's what happens when we take a single day off in this business, or I guess 2 days off. But one big piece of news that I didn't want to get to, there will not be universal designated hitting in 2021. What's the situation here, Will? So you got the Players Association, aka the Players Union, has to negotiate with the league, and then the league represents the owners. Players wanted universal DH, and if you're wondering why, it's because it provides more job opportunities for players. It's an extra roster spot, essentially. It's good for labor. But then the owners are like, all right, well, we want more games. We want more postseason games in particular because more games equals more games on TV, more revenue, more money, especially in the postseason, right? And the players are like, no. Listen, we already have to play 162 games in a regular season, and now you want us to add like another round to the playoffs? Please. After that much baseball, like it's such a marathon. After that much freaking baseball, there should be enough separation to only have 10 playoff teams as opposed to the 14 or 16 that may be on the table. And another reason I think these negotiations fell through is because, again, we're on the verge of the CBA ending, December 1st, 2021, doomsday in baseball. There's probably going to be a strike, and I'm sure that maybe both sides, maybe just one side, they did not want to give any sort of concessions prior to having to negotiate the new CBA. That'll have to get done. That's going to be terrible. But for now, we're having a good time. Stove Minders, I'm getting out of here.